This is awkward occurrence or awkward entertainment. So I'm going to be getting into Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito's parents and what Miss Petito's parents could have said to Mr. Laundrie in New York. So this couple started their trip in New York. It ended in Wyoming. I don't know how they got to New York from Florida. So they could have took a plane from Florida to New York, then brought the van in New York. Or they could have drove the van from Florida to New York and started the journey there. But the journey technically would have started in New York if they drove to... It technically would have started in Florida if they drove to New York. It's not clear who bought the van. I believe Miss Petito bought the van. It's not clear where she bought the van, but all we know is the trip started in New York. So Miss Petito, Mr. Laundrie met Gabby Petito's parents while he was in New York. They had conversations. This is just common sense. They had conversations. If he was in New York, he visited her parents. They had conversations. The couple broke off their marriage. I don't know when they broke off their marriage. It was before the trip, but they broke off their marriage, and I suspect the parents had something to do with that. Now, Gabby Petito's mother stated they broke off their marriage because they were too young and they wanted to wait. Again, I suspect the mom talked to Gabby, told her, you're too young, this, that, the third, get yourself established first. He may not be the guy for you. Whatever parents tell their daughters if they don't like the guy. Now, what could have the Petitos told Mr. Laundrie? Maybe they told him, I don't think you two should get married right now. You're not established in life right now. Knowing the in-laws, if you have in-laws, some people don't like their in-laws because their in-laws talk too much. Knowing the in-laws probably said they didn't like him. Probably told Gabby that. Maybe told Gabby that. It all depends. It all depends on first impressions. What was Laundrie's first impressions on the parents? But the reason I bring this up is because Mr. Laundrie is suspect number one in Gabby Petito's murder. Now, the police haven't named him a suspect, but the public and mainstream media have named him a suspect. And if he actually killed Gabby Petito, I believe the last straw that made him want to kill her was the conversation he had with her parents. Because again, they broke off their marriage. Also, Mr. Laundrie was reported to have sleep insomnia and hear voices. He also is into witchcraft, magic, things of that nature that cause psychotic disorders, that cause mental disorders. So again, if he had a conversation with the parents, it didn't go how he wanted in New York. He held a grudge against the parents, held a grudge against Gabby Petito this whole trip. Maybe they had another argument in Wyoming at that campground, and he strangled her. That's why I say it was the last straw. That last straw was talking to her parents and breaking off the marriage. So that's really it for that part. I read an article that Mr. Laundrie told Gabby Petito to make sure people knew we were engaged or they were engaged, even though they broke off their engagement. He kind of forced her to say they were engaged a few times on this trip. If you go back and look at the articles. Also, I'm still not sure if he murdered her. I'm still not sure if he killed her. Because he went hiking on the 29th. And anyone could have came by that area and did anything. But he's been painted in the media as suspect number one. He did go missing. I understand that. He did go missing. Still hasn't been found. Dog the Bounty Hunter still hasn't found him. It's been over an hour. Y'all remember when Dog the Bounty Hunter said, I would catch up with Brian Laundrie within an hour. Okay, that was weeks ago. It's been hundreds of hours. You still haven't caught this man. You still haven't caught this man. But let me continue into the video. That's pretty much it with Mr. Laundrie and Gabby Petito's parents. What conversations did he have with the parents that may have sent him overboard? So leave your comments below about what you think the parents and Mr. Laundrie talked about in New York before this couple left on their trip. Now, let's get into this Dog the Bounty Hunter video. It's going to be kind of funny. And I will end this video out after this.
So, Brian? Let me have you, Brian! So, Brian? Let me have you, Brian!
One more time.
So, Brian? Let me have you, Brian! What did you do? You're living it every night, aren't you, boy? Turn yourself in, Brian. Once in your life, be a man.
And people did leave comments on TikTok. Hold on. Let's get into those comments. All right, a few of the comments. That was funny. I don't know what Dog the Bounty Hunter said. I do not know what he said. But James left. Dog, we'll have him within the hour. This is what Dog the Bounty Hunter said weeks ago. If you ever watched SpongeBob in the late 90s, early 2000s, they always do 2 weeks later as a cutaway. So I said, Dog, we're having within an hour. SpongeBob, 2 weeks later. It's been more like 4 weeks later. People still think Dog is going to catch Brian. Get him, Dog. Rip him apart. Let's continue. I think he means it. I don't think he means it. Let's continue. Dog the Bounty Hunter has another reality TV show coming out. So again, this is for his publicity. He was searching in DeSoto, Florida. The FBI was searching in Carlton Reserve, Florida. So they're far apart on their search. So they haven't caught anything. He hasn't caught anything. Let's continue. Someone told him, "Go home, you drunk." That was kind of funny. It sounded like he said, "Let me love you, Brian." When he took his glasses off, "Let me love you, Brian." Everyone really thought this dude was going to find him. I know he wasn't going to find him not in no 1 hour when I read the article 2-3 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, you gonna catch up with Brian within 1 hour. Okay. 1 hour went by, 2 hours went by, 5 hours went by. All right, yeah, nothing, dog, nothing. He sprained his ankle. He found some poop. Let's continue. Found some feces. I guess he DNA tested it. I don't know. Yep. So people know he has a show coming up. PR stunt for his upcoming show. Where are his peoples? I don't know. I've always seen Dog the Bounty Hunter as an old person. He's old now. He was old to me 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I've always seen him as old. I've never seen his face without the glasses, or up close, but he's always been old to me. What was he saying? I heard, "Let me love you, Brian. Let me love you, Brian." I think he said, "Let me have you, Brian." Something of that nature. Let's continue. Alright, this is just some recent search results for Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito. Now, Rose Davis has came out and said This couple lived in a condo. Petito Laundrie lived in a condo that the Laundrie parents paid for. So the Laundrie parents did flip property. I think they have a water company. They sell different types of flavored water. So they got the son a condo. Him and his girlfriend live there. I bring this up because people were outside the Laundrie house just protesting that you were outside the parents' house. You guys didn't know where he really didn't live there. They really didn't live there. You left signs saying, she lived with you for 2 years. How could you not care? Just that the third. So the protests outside of the Laundrie parents' house seem pointless now. This seems pointless. Like, they're still out there. Mr. Laundrie is still taking signs out of his yard, and he took a sign out of somebody else's yard close to his house, I guess. So that was a waste of time. That was just theatrics. That whole protest in front of the Laundrie house was theatrics. Because they actually didn't stay there. Like, okay. So we're not going to have records from 911 calls of a domestic spat at that house. It would be from the condo if Gabby Petito ever called police to their condo. Again, I don't think the parents are involved in him being missing. I don't think they're hiding him. If he is hiding, maybe he's hiding on a property the parents own without the parents' knowledge. That's the only thing I could think of. If they flip houses, flip places, he's probably on one of those properties hiding out. That's the only thing I could think of. So get a list of their properties they're currently trying to renovate and go check it out. That's the only thing I can think of. Laundrie motive could be exposed by body cam footage. I didn't understand the article because it made no sense. His motive, they talked about the $1,000. He has money. His parents has money. His parents probably did give him money before this happened, before this whole debacle happened. Parents look out for their kids, but parents aren't going to cover up their kids' murder. So his parents are innocent. So that's why they haven't been arrested. Their parents aren't going to cover up their kids' murder. Brown lookalike held at gunpoint next. More theatrics. And Brian Laundrie connection to the Moab couple's murder. So Kaylin Scott and Crystal Turner were murdered in Moab. Laundrie and Petito were in Moab. They were outside of a grocery store in the Moonflower community or wherever that was. They were outside a grocery store. They started arguing, and someone called the police. They don't say who called the police. So I don't understand why Mr. Laundrie would be a suspect in this couple's murder. Because he doesn't know who called the police. I doubt he will go after whoever called the police. There's no motive for Mr. Laundrie to go after this homosexual couple. I stated in another video, the suspect you're looking for in this couple's murder will be a white homophobic person. He was described as creepy by the couple. Mr. Laundrie is 23. He's not creepy looking. Mr. Laundrie wasn't alone. He's with his girlfriend. He was with his girlfriend. They don't describe what the person was driving or how he looked. They just say creepy. Mr. Laundrie hasn't been known to carry a gun on this trip. Even if he had one, they probably have the gun and they can test the bullets inside the couple's body to his gun, and it's going to come back negative. Really, it's going to come back negative. The Moab couple, so Crystal Turner, Kaylin Scott, the father hired a PI. All the PI has to do is get video from the FBI. Like, I would expect the FBI to have video of Mr. Laundrie and Petito going to various places in Utah, and that would clear his name in that murder. That would clear his name. Because the police have more evidence out the blue on where Laundrie and Petito were in Utah. They were in Utah over 5 days, but still, he's not the suspect. He's not a suspect in this case. The PI thinks he's a suspect, but he's not. He's not the one who did it. Let's continue. Just because Dog the Bounty Hunter said, I think Laundrie is a serial killer, doesn't mean he's a serial killer. Let's continue. Alrighty. It's going to be the last video. Now, this is going to be video of Gabby Petito hanging out with Rose Davis. Miss Petito is under the influence of alcohol or some other drug. You can clearly see that. Other people can clearly see that. There were a bunch of comments about this on TikTok under these videos of her with Rose Davis. She seems intoxicated. She seems high. But this is Gabby Petito with Rose Davis having a good time.
So are you like worried that I'm going through something? Because this is for breaking. I was trying to say, Rose, I got this stuff for you, for me, for you. I mean, this is making me feel better. You're getting me riled up right now. I also got you.
One more time. Now, the entire video is only a couple of seconds longer than that.
So, Brian?
I'm going to go Dog the Bounty Hunter. So, Brian, let me love you, Brian.
Stressful? So are you like worried that I'm going through something? Because this is for breaking. I was trying to say, Rose, I got this stuff for you, for me, for you. I mean, this is making me feel better. You're getting me riled up right now. I also got you.
I just noticed that photo on Rose Davis' wall right there. Let's go back. Then I'm in this out.
So, Brian?
One more time with Dog the Bounty Hunter. Love you, Brian.
What did you do?
All right, one more time.
You're living it every night, aren't you, boy?
I also got you. Stressful? So are you like worried that I'm going through something? Because this is for breaking. I was trying to say, Rose, I got this stuff for you, for me, for you.
I'm just looking at that background photo. It's a dark figure. They look to be in Indian style pose and meditating pose. Her Indian style, they seem to be meditating. That photo on her wall is a spiritual photo. I like to look into their spiritual backgrounds, their spiritual beliefs. I'm not going to say religious beliefs. That's a difference between religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs. It doesn't go hand in hand. Religious and spirituality doesn't go hand in hand. You know, spiritual people are a bit more psychotic. They have a bit more of a mental illness. Religious people, more calm, more stable, more grounded. Again, spiritual people experience psychosis, psychotic episodes. Religious people, more grounded, more stable, more sane. All right, that's it, people. That's it. I'm going to end this video out, and I will see you guys in the next one. This has been Awkward Occurrence or Awkward Entertainment, and I will see you in the next video.
I mean, this is making me feel better. You're getting